Right. And what are we doing here? All right, family. So, you know what? Let me just go back to my account. Uh, yeah, we're gonna talk about this chimping stuff. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that white people will go there. They are the original monkey, according to their own records. Hold on, my family. You got people still clout chasing FBA and our spaces. Uh, Sad. Putting our names in you know, FBA this, FBA that. Weird folks out here. I ain't gonna keep you long. You dig? I just gotta go over this. Okay. But the record, and we're gonna talk about this on TikTok as well. All right. Okay. So Irish people were depicted as chimps. Okay. Let me give you the date. When they came over here via the potato famine, all right, we're talking about 1840s until 1890s. White tea supremacists started to chimp out, and were um, they had the they had a Punch magazine, a Britain Punch magazine. So the UK in the house. They frequently, we're talking about Britain ran magazines called a Punch magazine. They frequently portray Irish people as gorilla-like or ape-like. They chimped out and they frequently portray Irish people as gorilla-like or ape-like. You got the Harper's Weekly, right? 1857 to 1916. They published cartoons depicting Irish immigrants with simian primate features. Okay. Also, you had an 1871 Punch cartoon. The white tea Americans had chimped out and created the Irish Frankenstein. They depict the Irish as ape-like threats to civilization. So we see that there's a pattern here. The real people who chimp out. Okay, so that was the Irish, right? So their history, their introduction to America, they were called the chimps, right? Hold on. What about Italians when they came to this country later? Were they depicted as monkeys and apes? Yes, yes, yes. So it was during the large Southern Italian immigration wave, right? We're talking about 1880 to 1924. Okay, we're talking about Crystal Garden. We're talking about Ellis Island. All right. Over 4 million Italians immigrated to the United States. I talk about the massive lynching in New Orleans. Remember, I talk about that when white people chimped out and the thousands ran down on the Italians because I think two Italian men were arrested for pew pewing or deleting uh, a white tee officer. They went to court. They got acquitted. Okay. Well, a whole bunch of white tee people, they chimped out and they came in the thousands, if not 100,000, but for sure thousands. They said the hell with that conviction or that acquittal. This is mob justice, baby. They yanked those entire Italian men out that damn precinct or that courthouse, and they executed mob justice. They executed them. Okay, some years later, they got reparations for that. But in total, it was 11 Italian immigrants that were lynched. All right. So now after that, after they got the mob justice, right? After they got the mob justice, they said, "The hell with that! You guys, for certain, are guilty." They then start to clown the Italians, and yes, in their newspapers, they portrayed the Sicilians as primitive, ape-like, and very violent. You know, they chimped out and in the thousands mob justice. So like they had the chimp ape like pictures of the Italians in the New York paper, Louisiana, Chicago. Okay, so as I talk about this all the time, they had often described Southern Italians as racially distinct from Anglo-Saxons. They did not become white tea until I think 1960, some later stuff. But what about the small hats? So that's America. So the Italians and or the Sicilians, Italians, whatever, and the Irish in America were all depicted as gorillas, apes, primates, and white tea chimped out and attacked them, made fun of them. Well, across the seas in Germany, yeah, around the whole Holocaust thing, right? Obviously, leading up to the Holocaust, um, Nuremberg, Germany, decided to, after the Nazis came into power, they decided to um, portray the small hats as monkeys, apes, parrots, parasites, and rats, right? So when you do this, family, when these type of actions are being done, it's to justify brutality or mass incarceration. You always got to depict somebody negatively in the public. So you had grown men who supposedly are FBA come on my panel and say they don't mind when we are depicted as something negative. I'm like, dude, you definitely don't know our history, bro. That never works out for us when we allow people to control our global and national image. You done lost all of your mind. Grown men. Okay. Anyway, so the small hats in Nazi Germany were depicted as apes, gorillas, and obviously the Nazi regime chimped out and did the unthinkable to small hats. Charles Darwin, after he published in 1859 on the origins of species, right? Again, the Brits, 1871, The Hornet is called cartoon. It drew Darwin as an ape, and that was my earlier thumbnail. Had him as an ape. You got the 1874 Figaro, Darwin depicted as a monkey hanging from a tree. Okay, so these white tea people in America chimped and across abroad in the UK chimped out and mocked evolutionary theory by portraying Darwin himself as parts ape. These white tea people are the kings and queens of chimping out. Okay, they are the originators. Let's go even deeper. Let's go to How did the British and French depict each other? So when the Brits and the French would beef with each other, during the Napoleonic Wars, 1803, 1815, colonial rivalries, 1800s, and Franco-Prussian tensions, right? British cartoons had the French, yeah, those whitey people, those Anglos, they had them as monkeys, okay? And guess what? The French cartoons had the other so-called Anglo-Saxons depicted as gorillas or primates. So they were chimping out on each other, calling each other. If this has been going on forever, family, we're just the newest to the party. They've always depicted themselves as monkeys, primates, okay? Chimped out on each other. So political cartoonists on both sides use simian imagery. Okay, so now, so far, let's do a recap. We got Britain, the Brits, and American white Americans chimping out, depicting the Southern Italians, Sicilians as apes, gorillas. We got the same thing happening to the Irish. So the Irish and Italians in America were depicted as gorillas, apes, primates. Then we got Germans. The Germans had depicted the Jews as primates, right? They chimped out and did the unthinkable to them, executed them, right? Really bad. Then we got the French, right? We got oh man, we got the French and the Brits depicting they chimped out on each other. They're depicting each other as gorillas and apes. Now, we got the Germans. Somebody depicted them as gorillas around 1914, 1918, World War One, 1917, destroy this mad brute. So American propaganda poster shows a big, so the American propaganda machine chimped out. The Americans chimped out and showed a giant gorilla, with a German military helmet carrying a woman. That was one of the most famous propaganda posters ever produced. It encouraged enlistment against Germany. So that image, family, revved up a bunch of white tea chimpers. They chimped out and enlisted in the army to fight against Germany in World War One. Guess who else is depicted as gorillas, primates, chimps, monkeys? The Chinese. Oh yeah, 1850 all the way through the 1940s, especially duration. So that duration from 1850s to 1940s, and it was especially during anti-Chinese immigration, right? Chinese Exclusion Act. You got it? 1880s, 1900s. Newspapers frequently portrayed Chinese immigrants as primitive, animal-like, unassimilable. Like they thought they could not assimilate to the American way. All right. And they used that to justify immigration restrictions. So anybody who they wanted the public to have no feelings for, no sympathy, anybody who they wanted to have no protection from insults and assaults, they depicted them as gorillas and apes. So you got Chud the Builder running around trying to call FBAs and other folks chimps to carry on this tradition, to get the world to see us as nothing worthy of protection. So now we got the Chinese. I should wrote this down. Okay, so now we got the Japanese. Uh-oh. Can anybody guess when this happened? Why? When you think the Japanese were depicted as monkeys? Yeah, you guessed it. World War II. Okay. December 7th, 1941, after the Pearl Harbor attack, American wartime posters and cartoons frequently portrayed Japanese people as monkeys, apes, rats, and vermin. Every time these white tea people want to do you no good, they will first call you ape and ape, gorilla, chimp type language. Okay? Every time. Are we done? No. How about the Slavic people? You know where the term slave come from. The Slavic people. They were also depicted as primitive or ape-like. This is around the same time, 1933, 1945, under Nazi racial ideology. They targeted Poles, Russians, Ukrainians, Serbs, right? Nazis considered Slavs racially inferior. So these were the chimps at that time. So once again, Germany chimping out. Although they depicted them more as rats and pigs, they also had the ape-like simian imagery. Okay, they also did that, and that was to justify forced labors, slavery, ethnic cleansing, and German colonization of Eastern Europe. Are we done? No. Poor whitey people were also depicted as ape-like around the 1830s, 1900s. All what I read to you was whitey people chimping out on other whitey people, or they included the Chinese and the Japanese. Listen to this. British elites often describe poor whites as degenerate, primitive, ape-like. So everybody got the work, family. Everybody got that work. So when they see a Chud the Builder chimping out, calling us chimps, why he's chimping out, calling us chimps. He's calling us the N-word. All these people that I mentioned today, family, they all have experienced that. So they should have all resonated and been standing with us in unison because they all been called chimps too. So nobody should have attempt to justify Chud the Builder. But when you don't know history, you're a fool. Okay. So those poor whites in were East London poor, Irish laborers, and industrial workers. All right. So you had 1869, you had Francis Galton's eugenics theories. It popularized concerns about degeneration among lower classes. So they seen themselves, poor whites, as lower class degenerate gorillas, monkeys. Okay. And as I said before, around the Darwin evolution theory, when I was gaining support. So those who supported evolution under Darwinism or wanted to further his theory, right? His supporters were mocked and depicted as monkeys. So they didn't just only draw Darwin as a gorilla mixed with a human. They didn't chimp out and just draw Darwin. They chimped out and drew all of anybody supporting evolutionary theory were caricatured as monkeys, apes, gorilla men. Okay? You can go into the 1860 Oxford evolution debate. It was Thomas Huxley versus Bishop Samuel Wilberforce. Wow. So following that debate, many satirical publications used monkey imagery against evolution supporters. You dig? So that was the earliest. Uh, so the earliest account of this propaganda as gorillas ape-like people were during the 1790s. This is right after the Revolutionary War. Remember, the French is coming. Okay, so the Brits and the French obviously didn't like each other, and they were caricaturing each other as monkeys, ape-like simian beings. They chimped out on each other, and then poor whites in Brit were called monkeys, ape-like simians. Irish, Darwin and his supporters, the Chinese, Italians, Germans, small hats, in Nazi propaganda, Slavs under Nazi racial ideology, and last but not least, Japanese. All all of them got it. So I don't want y'all to pretend that they can't relate. They can relate. All right. So if you don't take away anything from this live, I want you to take away depictions of various groups as monkeys or apes were unfortunately common tools of propaganda and prejudice to justify some harm that's about to happen. All right. The difference between us and them is that they try to use that for a whole, what they did, use it for a whole system of Jim Crow. All right. So the broader pseudoscientific framework, it gave the stereotype a particularly enduring role against us in America. You feel me? So no, no, what people say about us matters, and we should help control the narrative of ourselves. You dig? It's important to control your own narrative. Don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody believe that they were not also chimped out on. Yeah, these guys chimped out on themselves, yo. The French and the Brits. So yeah, will the real chimp please stand up? You feel me? Will the real chimp please stand up? White people always chimped out. What do you call burning a cross on a black American's front lawn? Okay, that's the epitome of chimping out. What do you call uh convict leasing, sharecropping? What do you call police brutality? What do you call racial profiling? These are all actions of chimping out. What do you call the Dark Knights or the KKK? That's a chimping out organization. Oh, sir. So a black American man slap you across your head. That ain't chipping out. That's nowhere near the degree they took it. They burned down prosperous cities, 100 years of lynching under their actions of chimping. Yeah. Jim Crow is legal segregation, legal discrimination. Jim Crow is the epitome of chimping out. What happened with Rodney King? That wasn't chimping out. George Floyd. Did Zimmerman chimp out? Did Zimmerman chimp out on Trayvon Martin? You dig? So nah, no, 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 no. Do not feel bad using that word. They use it amongst themselves because they knew nobody chimp out more than them. I mean, just talk to them about history. Hey, hey, what's up? Just talk to them about white tea on white tea crime. Historically, was that chimping out? You dig? The Confederates wanted to secede. Is seceding a chimp out? Chimp out action? You want to secede from the country, my guy? Oh yeah, you chimping out. Y'all about to hold a big fat L for that. Seceding from the country is the biggest chimp out. The biggest chimps are the Confederates. They the biggest chimps. They try to be treasonous and go against their own country. Oh, we're gonna do our own thing. You go do you, I go do me, boo. Keep it moving, move around. And there ain't no emotion over here. We're gonna do us. We're going dolo. Okay. You're gonna hold these pew pews by the hands of FBAs. You dig? You're gonna hold these pew pews by the hand of FBAs. Nobody chimps out more than a white supremacist. That's why when I go to TikTok again, live on TikTok, I want to encourage one of those white tee folks to pull up and throw that chimp word. Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna just ask him what's chimping out. Okay, so a white guy using the N word and getting slapped across his head. That's chimping out, right? Okay. Okay. Those 11 Italian men who got strung up in New Orleans because a few of them got acquitted for deleting. That ain't chimping out. They are the epitome of what chimping is. They are the epitome of what chimping out is. I'm with Alice in the building. Claus in Dan Mo. All still great. Yeah, I said let me do a quick video to explain the origin of chimping out. You dig all those race riots unprovoked, all because we doing our thing. That ain't chimping out. You dig? No, no. We gonna throw that word around. You dig? The Brits and the French threw that word on each other. Well, no, we got more evidence that you guys are the original chimps. You even drew yourself as chimps historically. You feel me? Oh no, 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 no. I think that word is our word to call you guys. I think we got more evidence of you guys chimping out than you got of us. You're naming they naming individual lone wolves chimping out. We're naming a group effort, a race effort, an ethnic group effort to chimp out. They didn't lost their banana head mind. These guys get together. Yo, they got together as a whole nation to keep us back, to exclude us from wealth, from opportunities, from liberty. They lost all of their money. They didn't lost all of their mind. So I'm gonna try to, dangle some bait, TikTok, probably maybe later, maybe tomorrow morning. But I'm gonna definitely dangle some bait, get some white teacher supremacists up here. Yeah, because we had some tethers chimp out earlier. We had a crazy psychotic woman named Kathy. She hops on. She always starts off like an angel. Hello, how you doing, Ron? How's everything? Okay. And the minute I catch her out, the minute I catch her in a lie, that chick, you mother. I mean, family, y'all got it. If y'all haven't heard her, now I'm gonna definitely catch her. I know today she did it. So download that video. Man, yo, she go for the go. How's your day, Brian? God bless you. All grace goes to the Lord, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The minute I catch her out in a lie, she tried to tell me the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, only involved white people. So I was like, wait a minute, they did the buying and selling? She said, yeah. And then when I said it again, she realized how dumb that sounded. I said, well, how's it a slave trade if they just, so you mean the slave kidnapping? Wouldn't it be a slave kidnapping? It wouldn't be a slave trade. You mother, like the devil took over her soul. You mother, that's my daddy. I ain't watching. And then I kick her off, and she's trying to get back on. Like, yeah, the TikTok got some. Woo, TikTok, man. That must be like a place for therapy. The brain, the therapist got to be like, all right, look, TikTok, an account, and join FBA spaces. I'm telling you, man. Like their therapist had to be like, hey, it's okay. Just take your medicine. Create a TikTok account. Go search for FBA spaces. So anybody with FBA in it, Solon, Friedman, Adolf, and join their spaces and this is what's going on. Invite yourself up or ask to be invited up, and I believe you will be healed. I'm telling you, man, that's exactly how it seems. Yeah, they are creating a whole different level. Yeah, if y'all think revenue, man, revenue's a scholar compared to them. Your revenue is a scholar compared to these TikTokers. Yeah. Trading is a two-party affair. Yeah, man. Hey, yo, but I heard many people say that. So anyway, I'm kicking her off, right? So okay, so then a Nigerian called it. Yoruba Nigerian called it. Why are you upset, man? Why can't black people show emotions, right? Why we gotta be like this, sister? Calm down now. Why we can't ever show emotion? It's always negative for us to show emotion. I said, no, I mean, yeah, I'm hyped up because she was going crazy. So I met her energy, you dig? Just blame me. So I was like, yeah, but she said, so I said, well, what do you think? What do you think happened? Think slave trade? She said, well, yeah. Like, so she agreed that Africans. She tried to lie and say like Africans and white people did the kidnapping. Like, whatever. Like, I moved on. I didn't care. Like, these people not in it for honest conversation. So I just simply said, hey, you know, you're not black, right? Straight like that. You know, you ain't black, right? Oh, what do you mean? And I explained. Well, you just said you're Yoruba. That's your ethnic. That's your ethnicity. Your ethnic tribal name. You say you're Nigerian, so that's your nationality. You said you're African, that's your uh, continental identifier, ma'am. When are you black? So she admitted, oh yeah, the white tea man. I said, yeah, exactly. So don't say you call yourself black. You don't. The white tea people called you black, and then you ran with it. Okay. And she tried to lie and say her dad went to the UK in the 1940s and he was called black. Like, just stop lying. I said, at the very best, it was racially done. But again, it was a negative connotation. It wasn't positive. It was no positive light to that until we put it on it. Like, come on, I don't lie to me, man. So when white people called them black, you're telling me that that was a compliment, or you think that was like something negative? Like, come on. So she hopped off, and then dude sounded like from the islands. I couldn't say. I didn't even ask. She hopped on, and he was like, yeah, man, uh, Black Power, where that's from? I said, that ain't Stokely Carmichael. That's Richard Wright, 1954, 12 years before Stokely Carmichael. And he had a book or some publishing in 1945 called The Black Boy. So we're talking about 21 years before Stokely Carmichael. And Stokely Carmichael got that chant at rallies yelling Black Power from Willis. From Willis. So everything about them stole. So Stokely Carmichael, he just waited for the light to shine. He waited for the right stage, and then he yelled out Black Power, and he got the credit for Black American men already doing it. That's the stuff revenue don't like. That's the stuff revenue don't like to hear. Like, no, bro, y'all came behind us trying to push our stuff, and we cannot give them credit for that, family. We no longer giving people credit for pushing our stuff. You give them credit, it becomes theirs. So nah, no, can't do it. Can't afford it. We acknowledge them just a little bit, it becomes theirs. But now they want to be tied to Black history. Oh no, because now it becomes yours. We become the visitors. We are according to them, we're the visitors in Black. Everybody Black but us. We're African American. They're all Black. We ain't do hip hop. That's theirs. And before you know it, Black history will be all about tethers and little to do with us in our own country. Like, no, thank you. Look at reparations. It's an African thing now. By Africans. Once again, family, we do the dirty work, get it out there, and then they come when the spotlight is brightest and say, Ghana for reparations. Lights are bright, Stokely Carmichael. Black Power. That's all they do, family. They just seize the moment. When the lights are the brightest, they'll step up and take credit for what we done. We got from the mud. Michael J5Y5K, $20 super chat. He said they all receive some form of oppression from the enemy, yet they still want to play for that team. Shameful, right? And here's the big kicker, that the connection that they all had. All of them who were gaslit, joked on, called monkeys and apes and simians and all type of primates, rats, dogs, the filthiest varmints, vermin. They all were allowed to be white. Okay? And when you're allowed to be white, the number one rule is to stay away from Black Americans because that is the new one drop rule. Okay? The first one was about sex and birth, giving birth, having some type of Black American biology, right? That was the first one drop rule. Then they said, all right, well, look, man, we're going to expand this to everybody. Look, if you associate with them, we'll treat you no different than one of them. And that's the real reason why everybody gets away from us. Skin folk, the big and all. Same color skin, opposite color skin, everybody stays away from us for that reason. Because the new one drop rule is association, is proximity. Association to real Black or proximity to real Black. That is the new one drop rule. You align yourself with them, you're out. You're out. And that's why we feel like we all we got, because that's all we are. That's all we have is us. Everybody is incentivized to get away from us. That's where you get the biscuits. So then, like I said, skin folk, different skin folk, and even kinfolk. You got the coon class, the shills, who wants proximity to whiteness, so they like the Jesse Lee. They dig. So they back away. Proximity. So in the kinfolk, to add to that nuance, them, I mean, obviously they're going to have associates in proximity, but what they saying with them, don't join none of what they're doing. Condemn it. That's why they condemn, and Al Sharpton say, hey, these guys are ops, agents. You know, they make those crazy, outlandish statements. Yeah, so when you're in these spaces and these white tea people want to talk the chimping out thing, you say chimping out like who? The French? When they was chimping out on y'all? When y'all chimped out on the French? Or when y'all chimped out on the small hats? What about the 1888, 1882 Chinese exclusion? That ain't chimping? What about the Japanese internment camp? That ain't chimping out? What about the extermination of indigenous Americans? That ain't chimping? Like we go on, and this is a collective effort in the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. What about those Italian men who were acquitted for deleting a police officer, and you came in the thousands to do a public execution, public lynching? That ain't chipping. But a regular FBA smacking a taste out your mouth, that's chimping. These guys been the main chimpers. Now we're gonna read. No, we did will not control this narrative. We're gonna get ahead of this one. We're gonna start depicting. I was gonna have like a triple K rally, and then put this ain't chimping, like with a cross burning. Like, hey, this ain't chimping. I said I don't know how YouTube gonna like that type of thumbnail, so I just left it alone. I might make that a community post. Show the Confederates getting destroyed. That ain't chipping out. Trying to secede from your country, trying to split the country in half, make it weak, militarily, economically. That ain't chipping. And that's why I say, man, it's important to try to know your history. Like, why would you be on Earth and don't know your history? And then, like, come on, man. Like, that's the main reason why folks should be hopping on or, viewing FBA News Updates. And a lot of times you got Tariq Nasheed dropping some history. You got Yvette Carnell should be going into history and Tone Talks. But yeah, man, whether you like them or not, they go. I learned half what I learned from them. Half from Tariq, half them. Well, I said third them, a third Tariq, and a third myself. Because sometimes you don't know what direction to go until you hear an idea. So sometimes Tariq might say something and put me in the right direction, and sometimes you bet Tone or so whoever else might say something, and I'm like, "Ah, that's a good idea." Oh, for example, like there was a Facebook post, and the dude said, "Hey, man," he said, "Stop acting like Civil War wasn't a rebellion." So I was like, that is a kind of good point. We were on the plantation. We armed ourselves. We fought for freedom. We got it. So I'm like, you know what? That is not a bad thought. I said, that's not a bad way to look at that. We talk about slave rebellions, hey, Civil War. Why not? We were definitely in captivity, definitely enslaved, and we were incentivized to fight for our freedom. We did. Why is that not seen as it might be a civil war to white people, but that was a rebellion for us because we went against our slave master, literally our slave master. We deleted our slave master, literally. So why would that not be seen as a slave revolt? That's something to think about. Because once I heard that, I said, that's a good. So I invited, He made a good post. He got a lot of emotion on that post. So I didn't put my YouTube channel in there. I should have, but I invited them all to my space. Hold on. Let me try to invite them over. Let me check the Facebook post to see who inquired about how to find me. Hmm. All right, so I'm posting my link there now on a sister responded. I'm posting my link now. Damn, how long is it gonna take to post? All right. All right. So I'm gonna read his post verbatim. He said, it's in a Facebook group called Black American Politics and Discussions. He said the Civil War was a successful slave revolt. He said the Civil War was a successful slave revolt. That's why white tea people wouldn't leave black alone to this day. And I've been made that connection. I said, yo, we deleted their ancestors, family. You know, we brag about ours, Frederick Douglass, and blah, 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 and then he died natural causes. These guys' ancestors died prematurely, and it was at the hands of us. So can you imagine that? Like these guys think they are Anglos. They think they're superior than us, and some of their histories, their great ancestor got deleted by a former enslaved man. You know he's getting clowned. You know he's getting clowned. Okay, you know they're getting clowned by other white people who didn't meet that same fate, but a lot of them did. And I believe that's what they be like, be having shrines for, like vowing to get back. Uncle Chester, oh, Grandpa Chester, we're gonna get justice. Like one of those Chinese movies, right? When their master get deleted or their sister, whatever, and they vow to find the leaders and execute them. That gotta be how they be, family. Cause no way, cause they're so brutal. They become bankers, no loans. They become realtors, no homes. You dig? They become employers, no job. They're like, I wish I would employ one of y'all. The descendants of people who deleted my ancestors. You dig? And the same thing with the a lot of these Africans, these folks that come here as hyper selected African immigrants. Same thing. Like they are descendants of people who sold us. I bet you. I bet you majority of them are descendants of people who sold us. So they got that natural disdain, that natural vitriol for us. Just like a Confederate white sheep person and the average white sheep person, and not just Confederates. Remember, it was a Union soldier or Union, Union soldier who deleted Abraham Lincoln. He wasn't even a Confederate. The Confederate was his op, but he still had a connection with the Confederates and took care of Abraham Lincoln in the honor of the ops. That's wild. So you know they can't be trusted. The Union or Confederates, like they take each other out. They got mixed feelings. Like, how dare you let these Negroes? How dare you arm these Negroes to finish the job? Like you never know. Like the Union and Confederates, at some point, it was a stalemate. No side was gaining ground. No side was losing ground. It was about to call the war off and just let them succeed or renegotiate, give them more power. Abraham Lincoln was like, no, hell. We gotta get this win. Let's get the FBAs on. And man, so a lot of white people could have felt like it was going to be like a deal. You dig? Where it would have ended right there. Abraham Lincoln inviting these powerful Black Americans into the war, decided the fate of the war. They're like, dang, man, we had to bury all these Anglos at the hands of those powerful Black Americans. They probably had nightmares walking. They probably, family. That means that they seen us armed. They seen us with confidence. They seen us having the sense of feeling that we deserve liberty. They say death or liberty. Well, that was our motto. They sensed that they sensed that we were on demon time, 100%. They sensed that we were on demon time, 100%, and that put fear in them. And he said, never again do we want to see FBAs with that look ever again, that confident, I deserve to be look. You dig? They said never again. We want to see them with that confident look ever in life. And that's why when we have that look, we become uppity people. They start to demonize, clown, mock, spread propaganda to anybody with that in their eye, that glow, the FBA glow in their eye. Anybody with the FBA glow in their eyes, they right away go to demonize them in public. They call Serena Williams and the Venus and them gorillas. They got that dominant look, that swag. You got a Clarissa Shields, same thing. They clown her. Oh shit, man. Muhammad Ali, and the list goes on. That Malcolm X, that Dr. King, that glow, A. Philip Randolph, man, that scares the living shit from these white tea people, these chimpers. You dig? I swear chimping ain't easy for a white tea. That's why, like, they know they can only the only chance versus us is to out weapon us out or outman us, out science us, out technology. Nothing on an even skill level. No, same access to information, same access to tools, technology, science. They know they can't outdo it. They know. We know them and they know us. Okay, we know them and they know us. They said we cannot afford, and not just them, the tethered chimpers too. They don't like to see that confidence in our eyes. They had nightmares over Kendrick Lamar. Nightmares. Please name me some folks from who are non-FBA who likes Kendrick right now. This dude is HATED because he made hits. He made hits and a hit that might have been not only the best this rap song, that could have been arguably the best song ever. Now you got people saying I'm reading things. Oh, Drake had almost a billion streams. Don't care. Okay, anybody can stream you. You did. I mean, like the song. I was a Tupac fan. There's some songs I like, some I didn't like. I was a Nas fan. I ain't like every song Nas and Tupac made. Dig, I might have played it only because just 'cause I'm a fan, but hey, man, I liked it. You feel me? I remember I bought Dogfather Snoop Dogg album. I ain't like that thing at all. I thought that was completely garbage. Dig? But as a fan, I bought it, so that don't mean nothing. Like, do you get plays? Do people recommend your song? Right? When Not Like Us was around, everybody knows that if you turned your radio on for like 2 years, that's all you heard. You even had commercials, you had skits. Everybody had their own version of their dancing, singing Not Like Us. Had the whole country singing a song, and the whole country ain't singing the Drake tracks. They, I seen some tethers play Drake at the gas station. It's straight garbage. And like, but they so out of tune. They think like we rock with it. Like, dude, you know how much you spend right now? Like, shit, I ain't know what you for a cheap start blasting Drake. Now I know you ain't from the lineage at the very least. Corny Drake. I heard you got beef. I heard you got beef. Someone get the buns and the ketchup. If you ain't make sense of that, then you mustard, then your mustard didn't catch up. It's like what? When I say let it go, I mean let up. Drake, stop. The corny slick talking. That's played out. If you got beef, I'm gonna bring the cold. I heard you got beef. I'm gonna bring the cold. You get it, Jake? I heard you got beef, so I'm gonna bring the coal in my J's. Say it backwards. J. Cole. Like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yo, that's Drake. I heard you got beef. So I'm gonna bring so at the cookout. I'm gonna bring the J with what he say. He's, I'm gonna bring the coal in the J's. Say it backwards. That's J. Cole. Like, dude, if you don't stop this corny slick talk, nursery garbage, Drake be like, yeah, man, I'm successful and proud. When I look up in the clouds, I see an elephant. What do you see? Because the elephant in the room, like, stop. Trying to be extra deep, and you think like Drake, stop, dude. Tell your ghostwriter to knock it off. Tell your ghostwriters to knock it off, man. It's time for the grown man bars, my guy. Like you could tell, like when rappers get older, they rap about older things. Like as Jay Z got older, he started rapping about cars with no rims. You dig? No more sagging pants. You dig? Your bars are going to just naturally mature because you're an adult. You're experiencing adult things. When you sing and rap, it's usually what you experience if you don't have a writer. That's why you're gonna go from rapping about Hennessy and 40. You're gonna go from rapping about OE, Old English to some like I don't know, some cognac or something. You dig? Patron. As you get after you're gonna be rapping about if you're a smoker, I smoke trees all day, then that's gonna go to I got the Cuban cigar. You feel me? Like as you get older, you're just gonna do older things and rap about older things. That's married man with the family. Yo, was that a real video I seen on TikTok where it showed Drake in the car with like a white family? Yeah, I need somebody to tell me right now, was that real? I hope it wasn't because that dude is definitely a PDF. It was a white dad in the car in the driver's seat. It was a daughter in the passenger seat. It was Drake in the back with another white daughter in the back, and they were singing like Drake new song. I guess it was so cringe. Tell me, I was yeah. Let me read the chat. Was that real? Or was that AI? Anybody see that? If you ain't see it, it was probably AI. Get out smart. Yeah, man. It was embarrassing, bro. And that funk flex appearance was enough for me. I don't need any more evidence of a guy who's not with the culture. That behavior, that everything he had was non-hood, non-FBA dude. You're not from the mud. Everything about that showed me that he is not of the culture. Doing donuts in the Aston Martin, doing donuts in the Aston Martin. Okay. Funk Flex said, "Yo, Drake, did you say doing donuts in the Aston Martin?" He's like, "Yes, I said that." Now I think about it, if y'all think about that Darwin monkey thing, the simian monkey thing, it look a lot like Drake. All those simian monkey images, go Google them. Go Google the images of the simian Slavs, the simian small hats, the simian Irish and Italians, and look at Drake. Tell me how it looks like his ass. Drake chimped out and tried to sue the damn record company. You feel me? Yeah, I always thought Nicki was OD. I'm a Foxy Brown type of, you know what I mean? When you talk about uh, Black American rappers, what well, Foxy Brown might have been Jamaican. I'm not sure islands, but I like her. I like Foxy, but I like MC Light. The best female rapper ever was Lauren Hill. Dig, but I like MC Light style. Green Latifah, like EVE. You dig? Lil Kim was OD. Kim was OD. But yeah, man, MC Light. Hey, Lauren Hill was the best. Lauren Hill was the best. But those 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 feathers chimped out and degenerated our hip hop, man. Turned it from self destruction, like, and they warned, like, yo, rap is going the wrong way. We got some tethers being part of this, and now look at where it's going. Because I definitely remember early on, like the women, and the women like dressing provocative. I remember who that was, and those videos. They not knowing. You feel me? I remember. I knew I should have grabbed something from the house. I have to go back to the house. I should come back out. I think I might try to do TikTok real quick. She was cooking there before I log off. I think I might do a TikTok appearance. Let me see. Yeah, man. Friday, Friday. Go to TikTok. You dig? Try to get some white people chimping out. And I wasn't expecting tethers to chimp out. Like this was the title on TikTok. I wanted some white people to come by. Instead, I caught. Look, ma, I caught a fraggle. Look, ma, I caught a tether. I was not trying to catch y'all. I was trying to catch white people, man. I wanted them to explain what chimping out is, so I can directly point them to their own history. Oh, you mean what you were doing to yourselves? You dig? You mean the French and the Brits joining each other as monkeys long before they ever dared to do anybody foundational? You mean that? Wait. You mean that's that type of chimping out? You mean World War I, white tea against white tea? That ain't chimping out. Germany versus Russia ain't chimping out. Okay. Germany versus France ain't chimping out. The Cold War, Russia and United States, that ain't chimping out on both sides. Like, yeah, I definitely are revising history. And tethers speaking for us or speaking against us, that ain't chimping out. You dig? That is the epitome of chimping out. That is the epitome of chipping out. You dig? I think I'm gonna start a little. I think I want to start little issues on TikTok. Right now, I ain't gonna start nothing. I'm gonna talk what I talk. You know, I'm gonna bring this up on TikTok. It's chimping out. I'm gonna bring up what I brought up earlier on the true chimpers are white tea people. And then once Tether think they safe, I'm gonna drop that you ain't black bomb on them and let them chimp out when they hear that. You dig? Yeah, that's a fact. That's just a loud car. He ain't cash. Yeah, what did that damn okay. What did that tether? I get you. What did that tether? What did that tether do? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yo, I had a tether experience, and I wanted to tell you guys. I was trying to remember all day to tell you what it was, and I cannot remember. It pissed me off so badly. I'm like, dang. Okay. So check this out, man. I'm at the I'm at the park. I'm over here shooting the ball around, right? Me and an African tether. We're shooting the ball. Now he's doing the most stupid shot selection ever. And y'all know at certain angle, you know if it's just y'all two at the ballpark, you dig like your angles can't just be any angle because it's gonna be a long rebound. You feel me? So you know if you're by yourself and there's no rebounder, you know to just shoot the ball straight on. Any side shot is risking a long run for the ball. He kept doing that, chasing the ball around. So like, look at this nut. So a couple times it came towards me. Not a few times it came towards me. I threw it back to him, family. I threw him back to the ball. No, thank you, nothing. He just like in his own zone, some African dude. So lo and behold, the ball, let that go. The ball, oh, so now we both shot the ball. His ball coming towards me, my ball coming towards him. Family, yeah, you ain't gonna believe this. So I naturally grabbed his ball, thinking he got my ball. So I go to throw his ball, and I realize I don't see my ball coming back to me. But I had already threw him his ball. So I'm like, I see my ball rolling down the thing. I'm like, yo, you ain't grab my ball? I was focused on my ball. I said, all right, say less. All right. Every time that ball was within an inch of me, I let him come get it. It did say less. I prefer that. I'm not a nice guy anyway. So I prefer to strangers. I'm not a nice guy to strangers. So I actually prefer that. Let my ball go, let go, and I'll let your ball go. I prefer that. When I was bowling, I hated shaking hands with the with white people because I'm very competitive. Like I'll shake hands when the game's over, but like when you mess up, like every time it's your round to bowl, whether a spare strike or an open frame, like they keep shaking your hand and they keep clapping your hand, and they really do it when they're winning. These white people, man, when they losing, they don't want to, they don't look at you, they don't want to clap my hands, nothing. You feel me? So some white people from the door let you know I ain't clapping no hands. You know what I mean? Go your way, go my way, and I love that. I love that. And you beat them is even worse because we got swag. So when I bowl, when I release it, I think it's a strike. Do my little pose, and, strike, strike. You look dead at them. They be looking like good shot. Like yeah, whatever. Look at them like yeah, whatever. Good shot. That's what I do, man. Don't expect nothing less than a good shot. Don't expect nothing less than a man, than a great shot. Yeah, don't expect nothing less than a great shot. Don't want to clap your hands anyway. I don't like clapping hands with nobody. You feel me? I'm the can man when I'm bowling. When I'm competing, I'm the can man. I ain't trying to, like I said, when the game's over, I don't mind saying good game, whatever. But in the spirit of competition, don't talk to me. Ah, nothing better than cold water. Yeah, I'm like OD competitive, yo. Oh yeah, the brat. I love the brat. Brat, tat tat tat, tat ow, big baby. Yeah, the brat, man. FBA chosen by God said you got to be shadow banned or something because it's too many people. Even I have told you about you, and they be saying they be watching. Yeah. I know I'm shadow banned, but like I'm usually I'm used to it by now. Like I'm used to it. This happens every so often. Every so often. The shadow. I gotta figure out how you become shadow banned, but it could be tethers like dumbing it down. it could be different reasons, but this happens regularly. So I'm not even disappointed. I'm not shocked. It comes and then it goes. And that's why I got the membership now. You feel me? Because the membership, it does a few things. I learned this in Nation Islam. I used to I I used to teach chess for free to the city. That's why I say like people in the activisms, you gotta stop. You're not my level. I spoke at churches. I spoke at community events. We're trying to get the community. We were trying to rally the community together. I spoke. I got a video of that. I'm actually speaking. You can see. I never showed it. I showed it one time. I showed like a little bit of it one time. But and then I taught chess for free in my community. Sir, I'm serving my community in more ways than one. And eventually, people said like, "Yo, can't do it for free no more because people are not going to value it." They said people only value where they put their money, and they were not wrong. When I finally started to teach, charge, I had more people than ever, and people showed up when they said they will. Okay, so with the membership, YouTube membership, anybody who joined the membership and paid $4 a month, believe me, they ain't gonna miss something unless they need to. You feel me? So even though I'm shadow banned, if those folks were paying a membership, they're gonna make sure they find the video. Who the hell pays for something and don't take advantage of it? So that's my way to counter the shadow ban. I said, let me get membership so they stop happening. So those who got membership, they're gonna make sure. Because I remember when I was on a couple people Patreons, like I was on a Patreon for years, and I might have missed like let's say a month worth of their shows. And you best believe I went back and watched everything because I'm paying for it. I went back and went, I'm gonna watch all this. I mean, I paid for like 20 seasons of Shark Tank. I was a big Shark Tank fan. I paid for like 20 seasons, and you best believe, and I'm still paid. As long as YouTube is up, the if I have to share my screen, you'll see it's purchase videos. As long as YouTube is a thing, I can always go back and watch those videos, and you'd be damned if I don't do it. I watch some episodes. I watch some of those seasons 10 times because I paid for it and it's still there. I go back and watch them because you don't. It's so many episodes you don't remember. Like some of them you might remember, but you don't remember everything. So, and it's definitely. So I'm never bored because I guess I got like 20 seasons of Shark Tank. That's a lot. That's about $200. Take that down. That's about $200, something like that. It was ridiculous, but I'm a big Shark Tank fan. And by the way, family, in bowling, there's a point system in bowling that nobody taught me and my crew. So we used to ask the people who we bowled against, like, "Hey, who won?" Now they couldn't really lie because we get a receipt of it, like a copy of it, and it had our scores on there. So like the bowling commission, like commission would, okay, I'm gonna get your cornbread. Yeah, I'll get it. Get out of here. So the bowling commission, like the person running it, will like verify the correct wins and losses, right? Because humans they make mistakes, they fix them, so they can't cheat that. But we didn't know the score. Nobody ever told us it. And but family, I learned because like when you anybody bowl no, you got to write the score down, and it's a certain mathematical equation. Come from out there, certain mathematical equation you got to do. People do to figure out the score. So it's like writing out their answers. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I just observed people write the scores, give me a receipt, and I was able to calculate this whole score in my head. Like just no cap, no cap. I thought it was like no big deal. So one time, my partner was like, "Yo, who won?" And as the white T person was trying to write it down, I just told him score. I said, we done. We 15-3. Whatever the total score, maybe 18 points, whatever the total score was. I said, we did 15-3. He looked at me like, how you know that? You didn't write it down. Stop. Go. Go in there. Go use the bathroom. You Yeah. So he looked at me like, yeah, he looked at me like, how you know the score? Like, yo, to me, it's just easy. Okay, go sit down. So I'm okay. Yeah, but buddy looked at me like, yo, how the hell you know that damn score and you ain't got one pen in your hand? And I didn't know that was. I'm like, all right, maybe. I'm like, well, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't know. I thought I was doing something there y'all was doing. I didn't know y'all got to write this stuff down. You did. Like, I ain't know you got to write this stuff down. Like, whatever. But yeah. When I compete, I'm on demon time. That's the moral of the story. So what I'm gonna do now? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. So back to the shadow ban. Yeah. So that's what happens. You dig? No biggie for me. I don't have like a large ego where when I go live, it gotta be 1,000 people watching me. Big. Get your water bottle because for me, it's a time and a season for everything. And when I want to go dumb hard online, I would do just that. As y'all can see, I've been going less and less online. I've been getting off earlier than what I usually do, and I've been not coming back online. You feel me? When like I used to, man, y'all know if y'all was there, I used to go 3 times. I'd be live 3 times. You feel me? 3 times a day sometimes, and twice for sure. I cut back. I'm like, let me focus on what I'm focused on because I don't want to put all this work in and it ain't being, and people see it as like they didn't ask for it. You feel me? Because there's a supply and demand chain. There's a supply and demand chain. You feel me? And you're supposed to supply the demand. And I gotta look in the mirror and ask myself, are people demanding what I offer, or am I just giving it to them and being asked for it? So I kind of fall back to gauge that. So when Chad Smith called me yesterday, like, "Hey man, you ain't go live in the morning, man. I missed my early dosage of information." I feel kind of bad. Like, damn. So some people do look forward to the early lives. You feel me, or the lives in general. So like, damn, I feel kind of bad. Like, yeah, I should have went live. Yeah, but it's kind of depressing. Like now, if look, if my crowd was a bunch of YNs, and YNs is not a bad terminology. I gotta stop You gotta stop. That slang for the youth, that's kind of like wild. Okay? That ain't all youth. YNs or that's speaking when I use YN, that's speaking to a particular mindset of the youth, the wild ones, you dig? And by the way, that dude at the park who didn't get my basketball, yo, you want to talk about peppercorns? The first thing I seen, I was hollering to myself. Like this dude got peppercorn all in his damn head. I was hollering to myself. And this dude got real because I never really noticed their hair texture until Tariq was trolling them. And then I finally like, oh shit, some of them do got peppercorns. Okay, I got tissue in the car. Go. Yeah, I didn't even notice the peppercorn until you said something. And that guy yesterday, that guy, whatever I went to that park, well, yesterday, but whenever I was there, I definitely seen it. Dude, hair ain't never seen pick or comb. And his hair was low too. Like, damn, how you got peppercorns with the wavelength? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know haircuts. He had like a one and a half blade. Like, how did we? That's barbershop talk. Yeah, the one and a half. How you got peppercorns with a one and a half? You expect that with a three and a half. You dig? You don't expect peppercorns with the one and a half. Nobody got naps at one and a half. A blade one and a half. Nobody got naps except for Tether. Unfortunately, get in there. Unfortunately, except for Tether. All right. Let me. You stop, man. Use the tissue for your nose. Okay, good. And put it over there. No peppercorns for a one and a half blade length of hair. That's ridiculous. That's different. That's different. That's different. Okay, that is definitely different. Yeah. So what we doing is we taking chimping out and we're gonna slangify that. You dig? Thank you. That's our word now. That's why I made a community post with a Hebrew Israelite debater debating a white tea person. His title was "The White Tea Man Chimped Out" during the debate. Yeah, we took that word. Yeah, we are definitely using that for everybody, and definitely white tea people. Nobody chimps out more than a white tea person. We're gonna invite TikTok on, and we're gonna see where that goes. You dig? We're gonna invite TikTok over, and we are going to see where that goes. Why do I got a craving for a soda, man? Like I normally drink the seltzer waters. I could drink regular or flavored, doesn't matter. But man, sometimes, man, that thing make you thirsty. So I think I'm gonna just go soda. I think I'm gonna go soda and get the TikTokers on, man. They be definitely chimping out. Yeah, like the TikToker YNs, the tether class, they're not used to us. Like they expect to troll and stay on the line. Like, yeah, I don't know what the TikTok rules are, but that is not my rule. Once I throw you off, you're not coming back up. You dig? And once I have a long discussion with you, you're definitely not coming back. Like, what is like? Yeah, I got the content out of you. I'm good. Here, I got the content out of you. I'm good. Like, I mean, I got as much as I can. I can't get no more content out of you. I got what I wanted out of you. You look like a fool. You said some foolish things. Yeah, so nah, we good. See you. I got a whole video upload of you and your name there. Oh my God. I got a whole, yeah, once I make that upload, it's just you. Nah, I'm good. I got no more use for you. If y'all haven't watched that Somali upload, y'all gotta watch that. He was standing 10 toes on scamming in Minnesota. He was not a apologizing Somalian. He was like, I have no issues with the scams. He said this American government deserves it. Now we told him like, hey man, the people are the government. So you're not just scamming the government. You're scamming Black Americans too. But he didn't want to hear that part. It's okay. Okay. At least he was an honest tether. He was an honest Somalian tether. I like him. He's not trying to cosplay as black. He's not. He don't use black at all. I mean, unless it, works in his benefit. If he could speak some tangible, I'm sure he would. But he's not going around saying I'm a black man like the West Central Southern tethers or islanders. He ain't doing that. So all I try to do is politely explain. All I politely like to do is explain to non-FBAs who are of African descent, like, hey, the way you're using black is not the same how we use black. You think because white people invited you to a racial black caste system, you think we are using that's not how we use it. We don't say we're black racially. But I think a lot of them think that. And I gotta just tell them that plain, like, hey, if you're black racially, right? Okay. Because I kicked that Nigerian Yoruba chick off when she tried to say that we're black racially too. We're not ethnically black. I kicked her off. I get off. You're not trying to have a conversation. You're chimping out. And I told her, I said, man, you're chimping out. You're gonna tell us how we use black. Revenue learned the hard way. Revenue learned the hard way. He tried to fight it. Revenue sent me. He said his chat GPT said he beat me in a debate. I said, you are. I know you a lying tether. No way in hell AI gonna say you beat me in a debate, man. So say he tried to he tried to share his phone. I like, nah. I said, nah, you got to show me that. I don't read nothing to me. I want to read along with you because when I read my results, I shared it and we read it together. I said, now read your results with us, family. He kept like showing what he asked and try to skip down fast. Oh, my phone doing that. My phone is acting up. I said, all right, well, send me the transcript. Family, he sent that transcript and hopped off. His AI said I whooped him. I was whooping feet. You dig? And then I got a copy of it, so I was able to see like why what he was trying to show me. So he told AI, "Hey, I beat Ron, right?" And try to give AI my argument, like the way he revised it, so AI could say he win. I said, "Nah, bro, just send the transcript in there. You feel me? Just send the transcript." All right. So we right here. We are right here. I put a TikTok. Invite some of the YNs on. Oh my God. Invite some of the YNs on. Me talk about black and how they're not that. And let's see where it goes from there. Yeah, I played a game of chess, yo. That probably had to be my one of my fastest wins ever. I only played 1 minute game. It's called Bullet. The time frame is called Bullet. Man, family, out of 1 minute, I beat this dude in 50. I'm sorry. I had 54 seconds left. I beat him in 6 seconds. I was laughing so hard because I know he wanted to off himself. I know he did. He probably looking like, yo, what just happened? I just lost in 6 seconds. I know he wasn't happy. You dig? Anyway, let me move to my computer and let me move the YouTube from my phone to my computer and let me move the phone to TikTok. You dig? Hmm. Dr. Umar style. Let me repeat it again. Let me move my let me move my come on, man. My chart to be acting up, man. Let me move the YouTube live to my computer. Let me move the TikTok to my phone. Is that all right? Is that all right? Is that all right? Oh my. Oh, I gotta do a whole new what you call? Okay. Man, I need that pineapple soda. We got the hairline plus peppercorn hair. Yo, he ain't had no hairline, yo. He ain't have no hairline. All right. Let me see. the code. Let me invite these crazy wild tether YNs. 'Cause that's all who come on anyway. I'm gonna talk about how great black is and how black is just us, and that's enough for them to hop on. That bait normally works. Come on. That bait normally works. You want to fish for a tether? Just talk about how great you are as a black person, and and don't include them. You feel me? Because they believe they're entitled to everything we do. When you don't include them, that's when they be like, "Are you serious?"
How
That's
can I
how I
select
select
that?
that, man.
All right, family. Now I gotta invite one. I get it in a second. Let me get these crazy YNs over here. Each. Let me get these crazy YNs over here. Say, okay. Uh-oh, my phone is bugging out. All right, here we are. Any day now. Pressing the live button. Okay. Here we are. We live on TikTok. Uh-oh. No, we're not. Are we? All right, all right, all right. We are live. We are in the building. Yo, I just why is my TikTok my TikTok trying to crash, family? So what's the dilly, man? We're in the building. Yeah, I want non-FBAs. Yeah, all right. So look, I gotta close TikTok, come back on. So come back in the 2 seconds. I got TikTok is bugging. It keeps saying the app's not responding. I'll try one more time. It keeps saying the app ain't working. It keep wanting to close. So if it do it again, I'm gonna just close out and start all over. But yeah, all right, I come back. We're doing it again. TikTok is crashing out on me. It crashed out on me, family. Yeah, this is hilarious. All right, let me start my phone. Yeah, this TikTok app is so I can't stand it, man. On my phone, it has delayed buttons. I press a button, it doesn't. Oh, doing. I press a button, it's a delayed reaction. Yo, this is hilarious, yo. I gotta take a picture of this. Hopefully, all right. All right, so my phone coming back around. Come on. All right. Well, I gotta take this picture for it's too late. All right, cool. Oh, man. I just missed the picture. If my phone had to restart, I would have been had this picture if the phone didn't restart. Dang, I missed it. Yeah, I missed the picture, man. This is gonna be hilarious. All right, so if I missed it, I had did a live earlier on how reparations, a reparation payout will stimulate the country. Uh, I asked four AI engines. I said, um, I said, hey man, all right, all right, my phone crashing out. All right, I'm gonna use my iPad. One thing about the iPad that the people on TikTok they claim that the audio be in and out. Yeah, my phone is really bugging out. Yeah, my phone is tripping. Wait a minute. Oh, so I'm still live. I'm still live on TikTok. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. And I'm gonna join some TikTok spaces too. But it said I'm still live. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. All right. I'm back. All right. All right. So three, two, one. All right. We're back on TikTok. Hopefully you don't crash out again. Oh man, I missed that picture, man. I'm so mad. Yeah, as soon as my phone restarted, now I'm going to take a picture and scare the veteran away. Damn. Yo, that was hilarious, yo. He scared him away. All right. Anyway, any anyway, Damn, I want that picture so bad. All right, so I think I'm gonna join some TikTok spaces live so y'all can see how it goes. Oh, by the way, Minister Meach, what's up? Hey, yo, do you know a dude had caught me earlier while I was on TikTok live? He was like, "Yo, your voice sound familiar." He was like, "Yo, did you debate Captain Cesariak on the virgin birth?" I'm like, yeah. He like, I knew it was you. He said, man, you wiped him off the map. He's like, yo, man, y'all did a poll and everything. Sanet did a poll and you won. I was like, yeah. He was like, man, yeah. Now I'm live. You know, I don't do no Bible stuff. You know, I don't do no lies on this. I mean, no Bible stuff. But he was like, yo, can you give me the strongest argument? I guess he said he'd be debating like them a lot. So he said, can you walk me through like one of your strongest arguments against them? So I brought him to Matthew 1:16. But I redirect them towards my video. So I'm gonna link him up with you. All right. I'm gonna be part of it too because he really wants me to be part of it. So I'm gonna link us all together and we're gonna go over some Bible stuff on a separate, like maybe your TikTok space. All right. But it was hilarious out of nowhere, bro. So now we're having Bible class on my live. I know they're like, yo, what's going on here? So we had a quick Bible moment. But yeah, man, he was really appreciative. Like, yo, man, I be debating them and they always got something to say. And I gave him Matthew 1:16 and I explained everybody in that genealogy who was named, they all had a kid. There was words to suggest they had kids. Everybody, the women and men. I said Joseph is the only one who had no words to associate him with a biological kid. So I said, if you do it like that, ask them what is the biological word that associates a kid with Joseph, they win. But if they can't do it, they lose. And just don't move from that. It was hilarious. Hilarious. All right, all right. Okay, so I want to get back to where I was. I want to get back to where I was. So I was talking about uh Chud the Builder. Okay. Well, somebody Chud the Builder and the others who want to copy his style. Right. So Chud the Builder and the one who want to copy his style. I was speaking about them. And I also went over these academics and his interactions with Myron Gaines and Sneeko. And then there were follow-up um, reactions to that. I highlighted that Nick Fuentes, a known white tea supremacist, even said Chud was wrong. Like Chud wilding. And Chud is the one chimping out. You got Myron Gaines and Sneeko, people who are not Anglo, nowhere near the words, and justifying stupid stuff and lost the debate. Both of them, like academics, beat both of them up, and he ain't the best representative on that argument. You feel me? He ain't the most qualified on that topic. So I had played a skit of Tariq Nasheed earlier. Um, you know, just speaking to the clause guy because the clause guy brought up the Israelites. It was like, aren't we just Israelites? And we can't do that because there's a country called Israel. You know, at some point you got to return right to your land. You dig? That's not my land. America's my land, and there's no repatriation for me to Israel, right? So I'm not repatriating to Africa, Liberia, or Israel, or Kemet, for you guys that think you're the real Egyptians. The, so all those trick bag languages trying to get us out of the country, yeah, go ahead and tell me how it is over there. You dig? Tell me how it is in Liberia. tell me how it is in Kemet, and tell me how it is in Egypt. You feel me? And I'll just take your word. Or the Muslims who want to go back to Mecca or whatever. I don't know. But y'all tell me how that works out for you guys. You guys are relocated in Iran somewhere. Um, I'm good. I'm American. This is my only homeland. I don't have dual allegiance to another country. Right? So it brings me back to the topic. We're talking about black, the word BLACK, not the color, the word. Okay. Like you got a guy named Jason Black. That's a last name. That's not a color. That's a name. Once you tie words to human beings, they go outside of their preset Webster dictionary definition and they become, neutral because they're a name. So when we um foundational Black Americans, when we say we're black, we're saying we're black differently than a non-FBA person, somebody from Africa or the West Indies. Okay, they are saying they're black racially, right? And they think we're saying that, and we're not. That is not our argument. Our argument is not that we're black racially. Our argument is that we're black nationally and we're black ethnically. Right? There's a black culture in America. There's no black culture in Africa. There's no black culture in the West Indies or Haiti or Brazil. There's Brazilian culture, there's Haitian culture, there's Jamaican culture, and there's African culture from one of those 54 countries. Okay, there's Egyptian culture, there's Zimbabwean culture, there's Moroccan culture, there's all that stuff, Moorish culture, whatever, Zulu culture. There ain't no black culture anywhere in Africa, the Caribbean, or Haiti. The only black culture to ever exist is in America. So when people borrow our slang, you're embracing black culture. When you borrow our dress code, when you look like us and you swag like us, you're into black culture. Okay, you are now in black culture. You're rapping like us, you're in black culture. Okay, that's not Jamaican culture. That's not West Indian culture. That's not Haitian culture. That's not African culture. That's black culture, and that don't leave this country. That's not foreign. Okay? There's no foreign black. So I think that got to be understood respectfully to non-black people, to non-FBAs, to Africans and Caribbean people across the globe. You guys are black racially, and that's 100% different than black ethnically and black nationally, right? So when James Brown was singing "I'm Black and I'm Proud," black Americans were the only people on the globe singing that song when it came out. With 68, we were the only people singing it. We were the only people that believed that song was speaking to us. When we said Black Power, we were the only people on the globe saying Black Power. Okay, in the largely 1950s and 60s, largely. Okay, you didn't have no mass Caribbean group or African group, Haitian group, and the 60s or 70s yelling out collectively that they're black. Let's stop. Let's stop the cat. Right? That was unheard of at that time. Right? Because there was no such racial term called black. Racial term black did not exist. At that time, the only racial term that was circulating, including everybody from African ancestry, was Negro. Negro was the only racial term at that time that white people were lumping into one box, one racial box. That word was Negro. So when we said black, there was no racial term black. White people came about 20 years later they made behind our backs, they made black, our ethnicity, our nationality, they made it a racial term, and they disrespected it as an ethnicity. They disrespected it as a nationality. And then they summoned Jesse Jackson to come up with African American, right? That was propagated all throughout the New York Times, the LA Times, and all of a sudden, white people care and want to give us flowers for no reason. They just want to, hey, yeah, let's promote this African American language as an ethnical term for Black Americans to get away from black, so we can finally make black a race. And that's why a lot of people look at Jesse Jackson as a demon, as an agent. Like, people don't really appreciate or reward his efforts on behalf of Black Americans. People see him as a complete op who caused most of this confusion. People look at Jesse Jackson, the reason why we got to delineate in 2026. You feel me? So when we say we're black, and when Africans, Afro-Africans globally say they're black, we're saying we're saying the same word, but we mean two different things. So when y'all say, hey man, we all black, we be like, no, not your usage, not your application of the word. No, sir. That's not how we use black. We don't say, hey, we're black. We're part of a global racial term. That's not what we say. We use black as a unique name of our ethnicity, my guy. We're not using black as a racial name for all people of melanin in the world. That's not how we use black. That's how you want to use black to tether on to our identity. We understand that. We understand that, but kiss that goodbye. Like, I led the charge almost solely, and then other folks came behind. I appreciate it by reminding people, letting people know you're not black. You're Haitian, you're Nigerian, you're Jamaican, whatever. That's what you are. Black is the same, is a name, no different than Haitian. You can't have two names. I mean, at the very least, at least be mixed, at least be half Jamaican, half Black American. And then you can say, hey, I got a parent who's Jamaican, I got a parent who's FBA, so I'm technically black and Jamaican. I wouldn't even argue. I'm like, yeah, technically you are. But if both of your parents are island, if both of your parents are Haitian, Brazilian, Cuban, African, you're not black. You are 100% you, and be proud of that. You know, be proud of being you. You know, and oh, hold on 1 second. Wait 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Let me cut my headset off. 1 second. Yeah, hold on. So the one thing I appreciate about East Africans that most of them are proud to be East African. Yes, sir.
What the topic is on the situation right now. I wanted to say one quick thing about the Democrats real quick.
Yeah.
Let's get off of this. The whole situation with them trying to have some of our athletes basically try to boycott some of the college collegiate conferences like the SEC down there in the South. I have an issue on several things, but one of the issues that I really have a problem with is that we have not yet seen the Democrats go to our young brothers and young sisters that are in college athletes and talk to them, go to them where they're at, to talk to them about what's going on. It's like, okay, you're going to have you want them to do this, but who in the Democratic Party has gone to the actual college to talk to these cats, these young cats that get these meal deals, to tell them what's going on? You want them to go ahead and throw everything away, but you're not even going to them to tell them what the real deal is of why y'all getting kicked out of your seats. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just narcissistic as hell. It really is. And the thing is that, and I agree with Tariq Nasheed when he said it, like, listen, this to me, in a lot of ways, this is a tether-forwarded strategy. Because think about it for a second. Who are mostly in those southern states?
Yeah, FBA.
A lot of tethers out there.
Right, FBA, yeah.
And the reality is, and I don't say this, but you look at some of the universities, a lot of these universities do employ a lot of our people. So if y'all talking about hurting an economy, I mean, like, the economy you're hurting is going to be us there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I heard Joy Reid talking, like, yeah, they don't got much of an economy, so if it hurts them. I'm like, Miss Reid, that's just a very jacked up way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Our people are over there. You know what I'm saying? There's people over there that have lives. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even thinking about the athletes that y'all want to go. They getting all this money after all these years. They getting these meal deals. They finally getting paid. And now because y'all losing y'all seats, y'all lost y'all jobs, you want them to throw their money away?
Right.
What? To me, understand something. You know this, brother. And I'm going to say this, but the reality is most of the tethers, especially the ones that are in office, most of them are up here. They're in the Northeast. You got some in the Midwest. You
Florida.
don't have a whole big group of them down in southern states. You don't have that. If there's going to be anyone that's going to be actually a representative of some sort, 9 times out of 10 is going to be a Foundation of Black America that's down there. So for them to talk like Joy Reid was talking, I'm like, well, damn, Joy, you're talking basically like, well, you're talking just like you don't even belong. It's not even like it's a.
Yeah.
It kind of is. And I mean, this tether stuff, bro, this shit is different, man. It's different. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, the conversation was crazy to me because you brother, you know, we got cousins, we got someone's got uncles, aunts, grandmas, we got family down in some of those states. I don't know about your family. I know I got family down there.
Yeah.
Florida, you know what I'm saying? All that. I got family down there.
Yeah, most FBA's got southern relatives.
So we don't want to see anything bad happen down there. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't even think about doing that. But when you don't have any type of, like, you don't have a lineage in here, and most of your lineage is out there somewhere in a foreign land somewhere. Oh shit! Hell with them niggas. I'm like, what?
Right. Okay. Right. So it looks like every 10 years after the census, states redraw the boundary. Okay. So every 10 years after the census, states redraw the boundaries of congressional and legislative districts to account for population changes, right? So they make adjustments. So state got listed. So basically, if a state has 10 districts, population shifts mean that the lines must be adjusted. So whoever controls the state legislature often has significant influence over how those lines are drawn. So real simple. Whoever controls the state legislature, they often have significant influence over how those lines are drawn. Right. So the controversy basically arises when people argue that district lines are drawn to produce a desired political outcome rather than to fairly represent communities. So I guess that's the shill argument. So it's saying that if a city had 60 blue voters and 40 red voters, with that math, the blue always wins because majority wins, right? So, but if the map is drawn strategically by like the red people in office, then it's saying that there's something called packing where they could put most blue voters into a few districts where District 1 and District 2 are 90% blue, and then the other districts become favorable to red voters, what they say. Okay. So that's called packing. And there's something called cracking, right? Split blue neighborhoods across multiple districts, 55% red, 55% red, 55% red, 1, 2, 3. Even though blue voters are numerous, they may win fewer seats. So it says, so that's the argument they're arguing. They're arguing that's gerrymandering, right? Now, here's the part that can't be missed. The part that can't miss is that you have to win, you dig? Because the person who controls state legislator usually have this power to redraw lines. So I don't understand like this cry that's happening. But it says so now they want athletes, I guess, to sacrifice their careers and money to boycott, right? So their logic is, hey man, major college sports generate billions in revenue, tourism, hotel bookings, restaurant spending, media attention. So if players, schools, and recruits, fans, sponsors, everybody, conferences become involved in a boycott. Now, by the way, they were not into the Colin Kaepernick boycott. They were into that, but they want us to boycott this, right? In the hope of political leaders will feel economic and reputational pressure. So they're trying to like get them to cry uncle. So they're comparing that strategy to sports related pressure during the civil rights movement. The NCAA's response to North Carolina's HB2 law and corporate boycotts that use various political disputes. I don't know about that strategy. That sounds crazy.
It's not good. To me, it's not a sound strategy. It's not a sound strategy. Here's the thing, brother. In this situation, this is not something that you can truly just wave away with just a few of our players and brothers not participating in the collegiate sports situation. To me, that's just not, no, because you got to understand the problem is been going on for a very long time. It's not, that's the thing that's pissing me off. Them doing this is not exactly a new thing. This has been on the books for them to do for a while. And I'm not just talking about the gerrymandering. I'm talking about how they can go ahead and hijack the situation in their favor. They've been planning to do, because understand, it's very much harder for them to truly be able to take away our vote. It's a lot to do. I mean, you're going to have to, in order to get rid of the 14th Amendment, you got to go ahead and make a whole another amendment to get rid of the amendment. Then the Senate and the House got to vote favorable, and even then, all these 38 states have to go ahead and co-sign on it. It's just the reality that happened is very, very low.
So what is the strategy? Because I'm trying to get into their mind. I'm one of those guys. I like to get into the mind of people. So what do they think will be the outcome of such a boycott?
Well, the problem is they're not thinking.
No, but they didn't just. What I'm saying is That's a plan, right? That's a strategy. So what is the outcome they think is going to happen out of that action?
Well, that's the whole thing. I don't think it's a strategy that was even built to be a strategy. I just think it's a Hail Mary action.
To do what? To accomplish what goal?
What they're just doing is hoping that by doing that, they think because most of these states, economically, a lot of these states, the schools themselves, and Jorby said this,
right,
like Alabama, for example. Alabama University is a big part of course, big part of Alabama's, economy.
Right.
So they're thinking by going after the schools, it's a way of economically depriving the states of certain monies.
Okay. So that sounds like a plan to me, a strategy. Okay, so now what result do they think is going to happen after that?
What they're thinking is that we can economically cripple these states through sports because they feel in their action there's no real economy there anyway other than sports.
Okay.
Which is not exactly 100% accurate.
Yeah, the southern states. I got videos explaining why the southern states are poor, but they are poor, so I'm sure I can imagine. Yeah, so
do have economies. It's not like, sports the only thing they got. No, they have some stuff there. It's not just
so now let's move forward. So they're hoping states bow down, say uncle, and then do what?
In their way, they can use that as leverage, as a bargaining chip.
To do what?
In their way, try to go ahead and get their seats back.
Not happening.
Exactly.
Okay. Right, bro. Exactly bro. And that's why I wanted to put that out of you. It's not happening. I wouldn't even worry about it. Yeah. No, yeah, but I would. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's just for show. Like they want people to like march and sacrifice their careers and their scholarships for nothing.
It's the career, the scholarships. You gotta understand. There's black folks that work at these universities that get their daily bread to feed their families. If you hurt the university, okay, all the university are going to do is, okay, we need to go ahead and streamline the budget. So we're going to fire some people.
All right. So look, let me say this. Redistricting maps are usually changed through state legislators, governors, state courts, and federal courts. Boycotts is not part of that action at all. Zero. It's a nothing burger. All right. So they lost. They went those avenues. They went to the governor. They tried with state legislators. They tried in state and federal courts. They took a L. There's no way to reverse that.
Because you got to understand, the political choice is already put in place. But here's my issue, and this is my problem that I'm having. Professor Black Truth said it best when he said that the Democrats do not truly run their party like a republic, like an actual political party. They run their party like a DC social club. And in a way, what you're seeing is the actual results of running your party like a DC social club. Because when you do that, you keep all your power and all your interests only within the city limits of one major city in this country. You're not caring about all the other stuff going on within the nation with all your people that's out there that may need investment and need help. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Democrats can win all of the southern states. I'm not saying that. They're just in reality, they're going to win. However, do I feel if they put enough investment and stuff in there, could they get some, maybe a couple? They probably could. But you'll never know. You're just basing everything in Washington, D.C., and that's it. You'll never know how far you're able to go because you're never getting investment to grow a real base in the first place. And this goes to what I was saying before I talked about the situation with Alabama. You're familiar with the emergency manager law that they had in Michigan. correct?
No.
Well, the emergency manager law is basically the Republicans' way of basically, in a lot of ways, hijacking cities that they could not win through votership. So if they were going through something like an emergency or COVID, something like that, the emergency manager law can be put in place to go over and basically take the not take away the vote of the voter, but take away the power of the representatives that the voters have put into office. And that's exactly pretty much what they did. When you look at Detroit, look at Flint, Michigan, that's how you got that situation going on, really going on, what you had with that water over there. You know what I'm saying? They were able to hijack cities and municipalities that they could not win through an election.
Right.
What I'm saying is that was nothing more than an experiment. It was a show of the Republicans putting in place what they really are trying to do. It's too hard to take away the vote of the black people, but we can take away the competition. We can take away the power. So you've been seeing them do things that in a lot of ways have been on a way of trying to either take away the power of the representatives that we put in office, or try to get them out the paint altogether so there isn't much of a choice for us to vote for, which is why they're gerrymandering so much of the shit. And don't get me wrong, the Democrats are starting to do it on their end, but damn, motherfuckers, y'all are like 2-3 elections late, aren't y'all? You know what I'm saying? But whatever. All I'm trying to say here is that what the Republicans have been doing is not like it hasn't been seen. It's been telegraphed. You know what I'm saying? We've been seeing what they've been trying to do. You know what I'm saying? The problem here is the Democrats, they have been so worried about getting their donations from Washington. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, they just been not even caring about all the stuff that's been going on. The V. Holder case that was going on and all that stuff. I mean, understand, the stripping of the Voter Rights Act has been happening for a very long time before Trump ever came into office. So my thing here is that they haven't been on it like they should have been on it. And they had it in their mind that we're not in the rightful sites. Who said that? You know what I'm saying? Who said y'all weren't? You know what I'm saying? But that emergency manager law, that was for the Democrats. That was to go ahead and go after the Democrats we put in office. That was to make sure y'all were disenfranchised from being in the political process. So they've been having it in their minds to get y'all out the paint. You going in there, kiki and kaka with these people in Washington, D.C., and they have this situation like, listen, we want to get rid of the competition altogether. Because like President Black Chief said, in 2050, brother, you seen the statistics. Ain't gonna be a whole lot of white people like there used to be in this motherfucker.
Well, why? Wait, you gotta watch the language. I love TikTok shot. Now you gotta watch the language. Now, what do you mean? What do you mean gonna be a lot of white people? Yeah, there's white people.
I'm not saying there's not going to be none here. Of course, there's going to be some. But I think in 2050, they're saying that the amount will be, I'd say, little less than half.
Okay, so now hold on. How do you define white people?
Well, here's the thing.
I'm saying the numbers you're using. How do you believe you're aware of racial classification, right?
Yeah,
okay. I'm giving you a fact. It ain't what I'm trying to get into. It's a fact. So like people in this country are normally racially black or white. So you don't have to be Anglo or purported Anglo to be counted as white. You could be Asian, Japanese, Italian. You could be Hispanic. So as long as they're checking that white box, that racial white box, that number is going to be large and dominant.
Saying is when you get what I'm saying when I actually say white as far as Anglo-Saxon, what we might look at as a regular looking white person. Now I understand white in itself is something that can be very much an umbrella of ethnicity. I get it. I got it. You're correct. Because I had a situation, I was talking to somebody in another live. They had a Mexican woman on there. And of course, when I asked her about her race, she was very disingenuous.
Right.
But like I said before, what I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, the Anglo-Saxon white folks that we see, like we know is white, those individuals are getting halved. Now, of course, does not mean it's not going to be no white folks in here. We know what the situation is. But what I'm trying to say here is that the Republicans themselves, they're still going to act in the sense of saying, okay, we have to understand that we may not have the loyal votership like we used to. Even though we had these other groups, we don't know where their situation might lie. So we need to go ahead and start putting things together now to make sure we have much more of a lock, especially on these other states that they already have control of. My issue here is that a lot of this, to me, a good amount of this could be confronted if the Democrats actually were acting like real rivals and trying to go ahead and stop some of the stuff that was going on. I mean, the thing is that, okay, if they're gerrymandering, okay, y'all could have been gerrymandering a lot of stuff beforehand. You know what I'm saying? The situation that happened in California, that shouldn't have been just a one-time thing. That should have been going on way before it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is y'all doing this stuff late in the situation because now they're really on the attack. They kind of been on the attack, but y'all weren't paying attention. We've been seeing it. You know what I'm saying? You've been seeing it, brother. We know what the situation was. You know what I'm saying? And that's my issue. It's the lackadaisical. You know, even you can when Trump did the situation,
bro.
It's
No, it's not. Reparations is past historical harm. What you've seen and is narrow and is lineage based. What you've seen was a civil rights, a civil suit for anybody, right? For anyone who believed they were wrong from 2019 to now by the government. Right. It had nothing to do with reparations.
Yeah, because people don't understand if this goes all the way close to where Joe Biden was in office, and if you felt you were wrong by him, you can claim that way. But what I'm trying to say here is the fact that you had some of these Democratic shills, you know what I'm saying? Some of the other Democrats talking about, see the problem is, y'all want them reparations. First of all, it's not reparations. Second of all, y'all need to be mad that they're even thinking about giving them anything, because understand something. When the January 6ers were doing what they were doing and trying to go in that Capitol building, who do you think they were trying to go after?
Right.
You think they were trying to go after the Republicans? I mean, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't understand how serious the situation was. Like, you know what I'm saying? When that white girl was trying to climb to that building, that brother knew he was trying to get y'all Democratic fools. They were trying to get y'all.
Right.
I mean, y'all, do you not know y'all were in grave danger? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's, there is no, I don't know, brother. There's no sense of urgency. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, bruh, these people do not like you. Like, they want you out the paint. Like, they've been showing this not just politically. Shoot, if you look at January 6th, they've been showing this literally physically.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? These people are truly incompetent. This is why I understand what Tariq said. We need to put some of our people in there, man. These people, they can't even protect themselves, brother. They can't even fully protect themselves. This is not good.
Right.
It's not good.
And here's the thing. The way we put them in got to be grassroots, meaning that they got to be funded by us. Okay, we got to know where the money's coming from at all times, right? So we know that they're not uh, playing both sides of the fence. But
me personally, you may disagree with me, but at state level, we need to start at the state level. We need to start. If we can states, that's what we need to start from. You know what I'm trying to say? Because all politics is local. We like these cities. We like these cities. We like these states down. Going through because I don't think we need to focus on the national joints as of yet. Look at me. Personally, we need some from the mayors, all the mayors to the state senators, all that. We need to get into those school boards. We need to get into the local things first. We need to crowd that up in our cities, in our states, and a county level. We need to start getting into those first and foremost where we're at. Once we start going through the states and start dominating some of these states, because that's going to give us a good amount of leverage that we need. Because I don't really trust the process on a national stage right now. It's too much going on. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather us concentrate on the statewide situation, and then that way we have a certain lock on things. We have certain leverage that we can go ahead and build on it. And that's it, brother. I mean, that's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get involved with this.
Yeah. So just real quick, the winning party generally influenced over redistricting, right? Gerrymandering, the winning party. That's why they got to get out there and vote, for whoever and win. Now they're upset. They're not getting the votes, so they're losing, whereas they normally win. So they thought we were playing when we said, "Hey, nah, you know what? No tangibles, no vote." They thought we were playing. So now they're feeling the impacts of that today, right? They're feeling the impact of our stance. But yeah, but they argue what you said. They argue that black athletes generate enormous. So basically, those SC states, they do largely receive a lot of their income from sports and entertainment and government, things like that, federal government. So they believe that now that the red side won, that they're drawing congressional maps that civil rights groups believe weaken black voting power. Again, now even with black, when they say black voting power, I try to let people know, rewire your brain. This ain't you only. This is talking about people who may vote against your interests, vote for immigration, vote for sanctuary cities. They're included into that black. So don't think when you hear the word black, that's talking to you specifically. When you hear foundational black, you know it's you, or native black, you know it's you. But when you hear just black by itself, that's also inclusive of immigrants that may not vote your way. So they are saying this is what they're saying, because I pulled up the article. They're not saying give up your scholarship completely. They're saying that they should consider attending schools elsewhere, and the fans of those, go roll high, whatever they call it, roll tide. They saying that they should step out, and they're trying to make this equivalent to our major boycotts, like the bus boycott. Yeah, so I just don't see this as something to be taken seriously, like this boycott.
I mean, think it's even truly yet prosper a real functional actual boycott like that as of yet.
Yeah, I think this is what I think. Even knowing much about it to just now, my original thought was they like to gaslight everything. Like you even said the words reparation. Now you got to be careful, because you can't use their talking points to be against their talking points, because they are the ones who framed it as reparations. That's not what the Trump administration framed it as, or whoever, the DOJ, whoever's in charge of that. That's not how that was framed. The reparation word was something thrown on, added by the Democrats. Also, when Jasmine Crockett said, "Oh, we ain't gonna be out there picking cotton," like these folks just framing words to make us react emotionally. So you gotta be careful what words you use. Do not use reparations. Use it as a civil lawsuit, exactly what it is, for all Americans. It ain't for one or two. It's for everybody who qualifies. No different than a bank, Wells Fargo's sending you an email saying, "Hey, you might have been harmed. Hey, fill out this application and you may just get lucky."
Yeah, I got you. Well, let me get up off of this.
I appreciate you though, because you gave me a topic for tomorrow for sure. I know about it. I just know it's nothing, so I don't waste my time. But that's me. Like I know it's a nothing burger. They're mad they lost, so they're trying to be alarmist. They're trying to spread fear like they always do. Here come Project 2025. All this fear talk. So that's why I just ignore it. Me.
Issue is, did y'all go to the kids to tell them to go to them yourselves? To go to them, or you to expect them to just do it off of osmosis? I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to go to them, how can they take you serious?
Right. So of course, if a headline is they're taking your black vote that you fought hard for, of course that's going to draw attention. Emotional. You know, so you got reparations too. Yeah, you got to be careful of the language they use. It's always to gaslight you, to chimp out, for real. It's like no, we're not chimps. We don't chimp out. Y'all the real chimps, and that means nothing to us. You took an L. You should have gave us some tangibles, gave us something. You gave us nothing, no crime bill, nothing. So hold that L, and that's our position. That's why I didn't really take much interest in this. But since you brought it up and had me look into it officially, because you said what you said, but I'm always fact check. I'm always go to the website myself and see what they're saying. You dig? And I did that. But yeah, so the Republicans are arguing that they're not doing what the Democrats are saying they're doing. They're saying they're drawing legal districts according to population and constitutional rules. The Democrats are saying no. The districts are intentionally reducing black electoral vote influence. They always want to throw us out there as the as though there aren't poor or white tea liberals out there. There are no states too, and there are more numbers than us. All right, but those arguments had ended up in court.
Well, my thing is that they didn't go on their radar to even look at the southern states like that until they started losing the seats. We've been had people over there that needed y'all help. Now that they've joined and y'all losing some seats, now it's a big problem. Man, so let me get this straight. It's only a problem when it affects your party, not the problem when it affects your constituency. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that. That's why I ignored it, because it's the transfer portals are closed, so there are no athletes going nowhere. Right. Most of the good ones are already committed. Right. So this is really just a show. Like they're really just playing with people, trying to draw a emotional reaction. Right. Yeah. That boycott ain't gonna happen. And if it was happening, it'll be the worst boycott in human history.
They don't know the full story of what's going on anyway, because the Democrats are not going to tell them. They're just hoping that they get an emotional response. They crash the fuck out on their behalf. These kids got real lives. They got real responsibilities at young ages, and they need that money. They don't got time to be playing y'all stupid games. They don't have time for that. And they have enough sense to know that this doesn't make any freaking sense. You know what I'm saying? Of all the things, you put this on their backs to go ahead and do? No.
Yeah, they disrespectful. Yeah, so the way historically, the way you read district these maps, court rulings, elections, try better next time, federal intervention, and they ain't gonna do it. Long-term political pressure. So they gotta just keep going hard. But I feel like they're gonna forget about this in the next couple months and go to the next finesse.
Long term. They've abandoned these states for years.
Right.
Long term, that don't mean investment. They don't give a damn about that. So that would have they could have been had that situation going.
Yeah. So this is the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus. They are basically saying if conference leaders stay silent, don't expect our support on legislation important to college athletics. So basically, if the athletes are, if they're being wronged, they're not going to pass laws or weirdos. Okay.
It's a beautiful way of trying to make sure you have more voters next election cycle. Let me get off of this.
Okay. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, brother.
You, brother.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Yeah. I'm gonna bring this up tomorrow. But what I'm looking at from the website of these guys, the NAACP, it's again, it's a nothing burger. Media attention, they're trolling, and they can't hold a L, right? They got it. They gotta hold the L. Okay, I don't know why they think large number of elite athletes who got NBA, NFL dreams are going to say, "Yeah, let me put that on hold. I worked my whole life. My mom is you know what I mean on the sub. She got a substance issue. My dad got a. I've been in foster care. I've been in and out of home couch surfing, and I'm gonna put that on hold. I got no tangibles if this doesn't work out, but I'm gonna put it on hold to become a Democratic shill. Are you out of your mind? Okay, so yeah, this is most likely going nowhere. This is most likely going absolutely nowhere. Yes, I wouldn't even put too much stock into this. That's why like me, like just common sense to me. Even though all things are worthy of attention, so I ain't knocking people to be interested. So I'm not. Because that's life. You're gonna invest in something I'm not going to invest in, right? So I'm not going to pretend my investment is more important than yours. Nah, whatever you want to invest in, I think is good for conversation. Yeah, but I can tell you that I never really put thought in this like research until today. 'Cause I didn't even care so much. But now that being the way I am, now that I know it, you dig? Now that I know it, I'm gonna talk about it. You dig? That's how I operate. Once I become aware of something, you dig? I'm probably going to talk about it. That's how I normally operate. And especially if I see people are interested. Right. Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely talk about that next week. And I wanted to tell them about the importance, like that for that reason is the importance of race, like getting race right. Stop calling these folks black. I forgot to tell them that. But yeah, but the main thing is you cannot use their language when it's convenient. And then, no, it's not reparations. Don't ever call it that because that's spreading their false information. Can't do that. Don't let them get you there. Stay on what it acts. The first mistake you did is you're using Democratic shill language. Don't do that. Stay on 10, brother. Use the factual information. Cause I had to correct them right away. Hey, don't spread that fake news over here. Ain't no reparations. That stuff is like a civil lawsuit for all people who felt like they were injured. You dig? But good brother, good topic, Now you got my attention. See how that works? Now I'm gonna help spread, the news about that. 'Cause I'm sure some people were, trying to find out what's going on. Not everybody got the liberty to sit down in front of a computer and try to figure this stuff out. I just happen to make time for that. You feel me? Okay, so I'm just putting together my reparations thing over. I'm gonna talk about that. Okay, so there, here, and then I can't stand when TikTok does this, man. It make you do the puzzle thing. I wanted to join a room before I hop off too. So before I hop off, I'm gonna try to join a room. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, so before I hop off TikTok, I'm gonna try to join a room and get it, see what the topic is, and get it popping with um some of the TikTokers, or I should say TikToxicers, because TikTok be off the chizzy. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about tomorrow. Okay, so he just added to what I was gonna do, which is great. Okay, so I got that out the way. Peace, Don GQ. Hmm? Okay, thank you.
Sorry for breaking it.
Okay, you didn't break it. Is it broken? Okay, this is my rescue truck.
But please.
Okay. Don GQ, peace to you. Oh,
So okay.
all right, thank you. Okay, hold that for 1 second. All right, let me I'm gonna go into so TikTokers, I'm about to leave and go into a space real quick before I get wait, hold on. Was somebody trying to come on? Was somebody trying to come on? I missed that. Oh no, nobody. I know that was. All right, let me get off here. Love you guys. But I gotta enter a space on TikTok. Let me see if I could get in a space real quick. Let me see if I can get into a space before I hop off. Cause I am getting hungry. Okay. I could have sworn I seen Afro Elite live. I guess not. I think he was. The broker and the beneficiary.
to the side. Can y'all hear me now, man? FBA News, what it do, bro? Take a pause real quick.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Just stopping by, seeing what's going around TikTok spaces.
We exposing these people, man. I don't know what the Pope think he got up his sleeve though, but Ghana really just like they third strike right here, trying to get in front of this, trying to play the victim shit.
Yeah.
And now you got the Pope playing into the narrative. So that's definitely more proof that these people was back in cahoots, trying to once again.
Sell us out again. Right.
But before this, I was just exposing how these sororities getting exposed. These ladies coming out more and more denouncing these sororities, exposing them for their dark rituals and the blasphemous ways they do with basically all they pledges is rewritten of this Bible scriptures. Did you know that?
Nah, I don't read. I didn't care for sororities growing up. Yeah.
I trust you to tell you, but
Yeah, I was never into that.
Coming out. But no, did you hear what I said though? They take the Bible verses,
Yeah,
and remix them. Right. So how does that make you feel knowing they do that?
it makes me feel like that's what they always done. Like that's what they do. You know, that's their pattern.
Oh, grassroots knew that these people dealt with that type of.
Nah. The grassroots, the grassroots don't know a lot as a whole. Yeah. Nah. But they need people like you, right, and myself, to go out there and spread awareness. So yeah, so that's your thing. So you know, you've been called to do that. You feel me? So you got to do it. Like I've been called to do my journey, and I got to do mine.
You on YouTube?
Yeah, FBA News and Updates.
All right, so man, and you unbiased Ryan, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
But they got banned, so I'll be trying to run back into y'all shit.
Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, like we're being regulated, so we got to use certain terms if we want to be successful at spreading a message, right? Got to play the game because we're in their evil demonic spaces, so we got to play the game. Unfortunately.
Right. I'm starting to realize that, especially with these restrictions. I'm getting better with the restrictions and not talking crazy. So
right, I'm telling you, man, because right now I'm shadow banned on YouTube right now. Like I normally have like 130 so odd people. I'm down like to 23, 25, 30, but I keep going. Like that's not going to discourage me. I'm still go hard because I'm always shadow banned. You know what I mean? And then it goes away, then it comes back. So it's routine.
So do you think? I'm starting to believe, man, that the more we fight for, our what we is old and whatnot, I feel like America is already putting in plans to basically give America to these tethers. I feel like they see we unifying to basically get back what's ours, get back the land that which y'all took from us. Now, whether or not we running the land and all that, that's beside the point. We just went back what's ours. So
yeah,
I feel like these people is gonna put forth plans to basically because I'm in New York, I'm looking at all these political commercials, bro. I ain't seen one black person yet, bro. Every goddamn politician is either an Arab, a goddamn a Jew, a small hat. Like it's like, yo, they really putting this plan, and I'm pretty sure this is going on in every other fucking city. Yeah, you see it, but foreign politicians, like I'm hearing these people talk about. Bro, the first sentence out their mouth, guys, they using Trump. They ain't coming up with no policies. They talking about
right.
They talking about abolishing ICE. How if that ain't the most treasonous shit ever heard? Like you're in America talking about you're going to come at America's government. Like, I don't care if you like the band or not. Who that?
Wait, hold on. Where was this energy during the civil rights movement? Why y'all ain't ban those police officers when they was attacking us for exercising our liberty, our constitutional rights. Like these guys are illegal. We were legal being treated as illegals. These guys are illegal being treated as legals. You dig? So yeah, so make that make sense. Secondly, the play they're doing was already seen before historically. So when you look at the genocide of Rwanda, what they did was they put the Tutsis, who were the minority, they empowered them and put them over the Hutus. And then they decide to flex on the majority, right, as much as they can and enforce their rules. Kind of similar to what's happening now. So like they're trying to create that type of atmosphere where like we're the modern Hutus and they're the modern Tutsis and they're going to empower them and they're going to represent us. And then they doing their tether things, trying to provoke us to react a certain way to justify whatever they want to justify coming towards us. Yeah, so it's really deep, it's really demonic, and all we gotta do is keep delineating and part of delineation was most important. Stop calling these folks. I ain't saying you do it. We as a collective got to stop calling them black. You keep calling them black, all their plans are going to work. They're not black. They're foreigners. They're Haitians. They're immigrants. They're West Indians. They're Jamaicans. They're Nigerians. They got nationalities. They got tribal names, and they have a continental name. Okay, African, West Indian. These West Indian. These are their continental names, right? Nothing in a society makes them black other than them just cosplaying as one of us. So the first part of us derailing making their attempts fail attempts is to delineate, and part of that delineation is taking the name black solely just for us. It's ours. It's not shared. James Brown, when he made that song, that wasn't for everybody. There was not one soul on this earth singing "I'm Black and I'm Proud" besides Black Americans. Okay, only people. So they can't come 60 years later trying to blast James Brown. It's not happening. But
going as far as tell you, and this is probably, and people in other major cities probably peeping this too. Man, listen, I'm in New York, dude. These people know we know. These people know who we are. These people know, especially these Spanish people, they are like when they got exposed for voting for Trump, but then got mad at us. They been knew they like, so I would say like 2 years ago they knew. The Africans, they starting to realize like these people don't say shit to us, man. We come up to them to do. These people.
right. So now I explain that. So the one drop rule was to discourage anybody from having birth by an FBA person, right? So that's out. So the new one drop rule is proximity to real blackness. So that's why they all got to get away from us. If they are caught aligning themselves with us or associating with us in a political way, they are out. Their white tee pass is revoked, take it from them, and now they become one of us. And that's why none of them talks to us. That's why, bro. That's the new one drop rule. Do not associate with FBAs or your tangibles are gone.
That helps me know where to spend my money.
Oh yeah. All right. So with that, I'm about to log off, and I check you, bro. Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Go back on your channel and posting some of your shit.
I appreciate it. Yes, stay strong, man, and keep the fight, bro.
Bro,
all right, peace. Yeah, peace.
Man.
All right. So you got brother.
Stop y'all to get exposed, man. All you weirdos trying to
back with the electric speaking.
No,
Remember,
you keep.
I didn't agree with you. I didn't agree with you. Wait.
No,
Did I not agree with you specifically?
Are you familiar with public supermarkets?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yes, I am, sir.
But all of them, who manages those supermarkets?
I can't really necessarily say that, but I would say it's Hispanics and Indians.
It's either Rainbow or someone.
It's not gay people. No, it's not gay people. It's either Hispanics
I said
or
Rainbow
Indians.
or immigrant. In Fort Lauderdale,
all in Fort Lauderdale. Now that's very specific because Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I told you I don't go to Miami. I told you I do not go to that
Fort Lauderdale specifically
because the Cubans runs Miami. The Cubans have control of
okay,
that.
so if you're talking about Fort Lauderdale in a specific spot in Fort Lauderdale, yes.
You say we don't. You say we're not having that problem. That's why I asked you what area.
Okay, so in Fort Lauderdale specifically, they have a district just for gay people. Not that the city commission, not Democrat or it's the fact that the electric.
All right, let me get out of there.
Yeah.
They get me flagged.
See, like, my first thought when I heard him speaking, I was like, oh, you one of them niggas, you gonna bully a chick out the coochie. You ain't gonna.
Oh, my God. What are we talking about, bruh?
That's why I don't like dudes like me. See, I was in these streets, but then I realized this shit was a trap.
Okay, all right. So, not much going on in TikTok world. I should have known it's Friday. If I would remember it was Friday, I mean, well, I did get some type of good conversation because the brother had brought me to gerrymandering, and hey, to be honest, family, you see, folks actually know who I am right now. People like to pretend they don't know me. I don't want to say my name for their reason. Everybody got agendas, and I really believe that people look at me as a threat. Got him out because he's a threat to what we got going on. Like, we think he's going to attract the masses over there because of his scholarship. I think so, man. Because you see, people know I am, but the larger panels, they don't really like to, throw an alley-oop. So I gotta get it from the mud. CSEP says about the chimping out, there's a high percentage of Neanderthal DNA some folks have that would appear to corroborate my thesis. Right. These guys are literally chimps, and no reason why they chimp out every chance they get. Maxwell Jenkins, I'm gonna call this one right now. Family is 9:19. I'm getting good time because I normally go to bed. I've been doing good. I've been getting off the internet, 4 hours the most. I've been doing good, especially being shadow banned, and we got folks who are crazy. All right. So peace to the family. I will see you, I think, tomorrow morning. All right, man. I gotta go eat. My ribs are touching. Don't make me wait. Something.